That
Cool.
was excellent.
What's up, y'all?
Hello,
Happy
everyone.
Boxem office hours. Happy Thursday.
Good to see everyone. Good to see everyone here. Excited to rock and roll, answer you guys Amazon questions. We can do some live sourcing and some product breakdowns too if you guys want as well. You guys really liked that last week and everything. So I'm gonna fire up the sourcing machine here if you guys want to jam on some of that stuff.
Absolutely. What's up, Claire? Yeah, so we're live every Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern for Boxem office hours. So if you guys ever have questions about Boxem, shipping, tracking profit analytics, all that kind of stuff, we had an awesome beta release of all the new analytics stuff we have for you guys. Super modern, super clean kind of dashboards on everything. Been loving all the feedback on that. So that'll be public here before too long. But yeah, make sure you guys try Boxem if you want to use the best shipments and analytics tool for your Amazon business. A lot of stuff that we've been able to figure out, just make a lot smoother since it's by and for Amazon sellers. So make sure you check it out if you want to save some time. What's up, Kenny? How's it going, man?
Good to see you, Kenny. What's up, Claire, too, as well. So yeah, can rock and roll in here. Whatever questions y'all got, definitely make sure to let us know, and we would love to get rock and rolling here, guys. Do you need an LLC to obtain a resource permit? So it actually depends on state, Lily. Most Amazon sellers do eventually get an LLC. Now, obviously, we're not lawyers. We don't know your personal situation and everything, but typically most Amazon sellers will switch to an LLC. And like we're saying with the resource certificate, it depends on the specific state whether or not it's required. Just ask ChatGPT real quick.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. How do you get engaged? Submitted 10 times. You have a real invoice, not an order confirmation. Yeah, so that's just as far as ungating in general, whether you have the wholesale invoice that wholesale supremacists will say you have to have for ungating, or if you have a retail invoice, it's still just going to take multiple attempts. Just add as much info as possible and try to add like a picture of the product, any like shipping information, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just make it really easy for the system to be like, all right, this person clearly bought this from a legit place, And then in the notes too, where you can add a little notes right after you check all the boxes right there, you can go in and add like, please see my attached documents and approve them for submissions, right? Just put them in one big PDF. But yeah, don't worry about it, what Amazon says in those denials and everything, because it's completely normal. There's no penalty to your account for submitting a bunch and everything. Otherwise, we obviously wouldn't recommend it and all that. But yeah, you'll get that done. And then also too, Matthew, if you want to validate that there's brands that'll automatically approve you too, go plug in a Cuddle Duds item, go plug in a J. Crew Mercantile item. Go plug in a Red Heart yarn item on everything too, and you can plug that in and get rock and roll with that.
Dive in on the stores of people who sell that too. Get some auto and gate brands that not just like the few we usually mention.
Yep. So
what's up, Lee?
Added invoice was within. Ooh, I love that from Keep It Clean here. Yeah, love that here. Right, definitely add some verbiage. I added invoice was within the last. Exactly, right? Yeah, that definitely doesn't hurt, right? And what Keep It Clean might have done there is he might have jocked Amazon system, for example, and because he put something in the notes there, reverted it to go to a real human being right away on that submission or something along those lines, right? Because it is an automated system, right there. But the key is that we know for a fact that denials are normal and they'll get you rock and rolling with that here. It says I've submitted multiple times. Do I reply to that email? Just reapply again. So either one, Matthew, it's going to have the same effect. Typically, that we do like to say, open a new application there.
Yeah, this is a good question about transparency codes. So sometimes you guys will see this on very fast selling listings. Typically, transparency codes are like a small QR code looking thing that'll be on the product of usually things that are like heavily counterfeit, that kind of thing. They want to make sure they're only legit items on Amazon. Sometimes they'll be baked into the label of the product. So on the Walmart listing, you can look at it and see if there's a little QR code that has a T logo on it on the packaging. Always test order, that kind of thing. Sometimes the brand will only put it on there if they know it's going to be sold by a third party on Amazon or Walmart, basically though. So you can place a test order, or if you see it on the packaging, that kind of thing. Generally, you want to avoid those unless you're buying directly from the brand and they've specifically told you they're going to be on those items.
Makes sense right there. Okay, so just in general, so I was getting basically a presentation ready for my coaching guys tonight, basically, but I want to put you guys on game, right, with online arbitrage sourcing. Pretty much the big issues you run into, right, when most of you guys are starting to do online arbitrage sourcing, right, is that you're struggling to find profitable products, right? But the key is, right, I was really breaking this down, right, is that you don't necessarily find stuff profitably typically. Now, you find stuff that sells quick via storefront stalking. That's nice and easy, right? But then how do you make the numbers work? And very rarely will you Google something with SellerAmp and see that it shows profitably on that retailer, right? Typically, you have to make those items good, right? And the main ways are going to be holiday sales and checking the free cashback and coupon extensions like Capital One Shopping and Coupon Birds to make those SKUs profitable, or email pop-ups that'll give you 10, 20%, or like the Gap website right now, there's a 20% code, which stacks with the 20% email code. So you get a ginormous discount right there, discounted gift cards on Cardbear, or submitting your tax exempt permit. So if you guys need any clarification on any of those, let us know. But those are what's going to create profitable online arbitrage SKUs that we typically see like a lot of beginners struggle with initially. And that's totally cool. If this was super easy, everyone would do it. Got it. Thanks. Hey guys, hoping to start my FBA adventure in the next couple weeks. What are some brands I should look into at sourcing that is not clothing? So whatever other brands, the sellers that you start with those auto one gates are carrying, right? So the nice thing is there's no guesswork. You let the market tell you what to buy, right? And, as a beginner especially, it doesn't make sense to headhunt types of items. Just let the market tell you what to carry and everything. So say, Jonathan, you go to a Cuddle Duds listing, which is an auto one gate, right? And you storefront stock from there, instantly you're going to get plugged into dozens, if not hundreds of products from other categories and dozens of brands from other categories. That's exactly what you should take a look at.
Yeah, because what matters more so than like a specific brand, like if you get 3 brands that people say they like to sell on Amazon, all 3 of those could like not be cheap today, right? There could be no sales, there could be no ways to create the type of margin that somebody who sourced it a week ago had, right? So it's more so about looking at, like, honestly, any of the sourcing videos we've made in the last like 6 months, look at the storefronts of people who sell those brands, and you'll kind of be like, all right, this brand isn't on sale today. And Miles was mentioned like there's a Gap sale today, right? So that might take a little bit more priority over something that is that's not cheap. Basically, any brand that you see a lot of listings where there's like 3+ third-party sellers on a good amount of the listings, and there's a sale today, that's where you should start. Not necessarily like pigeonholed on certain brands.
Yep, exactly, right. And because the cool thing is you're just buying good data, guys. You're just buying whatever has a good sales rank, right? Watch Warner's free course, watch my free course. That in a weekend is going to bring you up to speed really, really quick on all the terminology, all the softwares, et cetera, and you'll be ready to, immediately execute.
Yep. It says eligible on Seller. Does that mean it's ungated? Yep. So it's just checking like in another tab on Seller Central. So it just checked in the background, basically confirmed that it is.
Yes,
gotcha,
sir.
Jonathan. Yeah.
What up, Gage?
Let's see. Accounts deactivate after you submit all documents. Probably just need to submit again, or that goes for IP complaints and authentic. Even if some of the spheres account deactivations, they're going to tell you why they didn't like that, and then you just need to provide more info on the step of the process they didn't like. You can always get somebody on the phone too.
Ooh, so Lauren with a good question here. I ordered an item that looked great and I matched the ASIN, but once I got it, the UPC matched a different listing for what I thought, and the ASIN for what I thought it'd be doesn't list a UPC. How can I make sure I'm getting the right item? Neither the ASIN page nor the retailer lists the UPC. Yeah, so it depends on what type of item it is, but if it is an item people like consume, as long as the customer gets what they see in the picture, you're most likely good to go, especially on like clothing items and stuff like that, that don't have a label, that don't have ingredients or whatever, where you can actually go ahead and verify it right there. So go off the picture and the title, make sure it matches, and you'll be good to go. Because these clothing brands, some of these items will have been created 5 years ago and they re-release the same item technically with the different UPC, so that that listing on Amazon that has tons of sellers on it, it's impossible to get that item retail anymore. That's when it's a case like that, typically, Lauren.
Yeah, you can check like fabric blends, nutrition facts. If it's a vitamin, you can see like if the proportions of the vitamins inside are still the same. You can definitely sell stuff that doesn't have UPC though, because sometimes those are your best items, because anything that claims to like automatically source products and that kind of stuff is always going to be blind to that. So you going in manually and looking through stores, or just straight up looking at the website, pulling up the listing, you found something that stuff that is a little more automated is always going to miss, and those are going to stay profitable for a lot longer.
Yeah, that's what's nice about storefront stocking too, is it's doesn't limit you, and it's going to tap you on a bunch of stuff like that too as well. What's up, A Diaz? Yes, sir.
Diaz.
Okay. Also, two guys as well. So if you're watching this, right, we're coming up on the end of February. You've pretty much made it through a good bit of the majority of the harder part of the year, right? Pretty quickly here, we're going to have St. Patrick's Day and then Easter a month or so after, a couple weeks after, and then Mother's Day, Memorial Day, Father's Day, 4th of July, July Prime Day, back to school season, Labor Day, October Prime Day, early Black Friday sales, the Q4 rush. So coming up in like, the next 6 weeks or so here, we're really, coming to the end of the harder part of the year and getting the really easy part of the year. And I feel like once like April and May hit, stuff just gets a lot easier too.
Yeah, we just had good President's Day sales too. A lot of there's still some that are still running. I noticed, which is crazy. Right. They just want to keep stuff rolling. I've noticed there's been a lot of just sales rolling in February. Like, haven't really paid attention to that before. Let's see. Not giving you applied to Ungate for Nike. Yeah, if you're brand new, you can't sell. It's been like that for about a year and a half on some of the big clothing brands. Just a few other 1,000 good brands you can sell, and basically anything that lets you apply to sell, you can get ungated to sell. You just submit the invoice wherever you need to buy it. Even if you're brand new, you got no sales, that kind of stuff, you can still get ungated in that. Although I did hear from some newer sellers, they were able to apply on some of the big stuff that's been gated for a while. So always good to check that every now and then. Maybe they're letting some people back in on that. Let's see how to set up your shipping settings for the best rate. So for FBA, you don't really need to change anything in your settings. Like when you just make that shipment through Boxem, it's going to give you the best per pound rate possible. It's just kind of like partnered rates type of thing. As far as FBM goes, though, you can use usually you just buy it through Seller Central. If it happens to be like really expensive through Seller Central, sometimes it's like a big product, it can be cheaper through Pirate Ship, and then you'll also want to you can kind of charge crazy prices for like increased shipping speed, that kind of stuff for FBM orders too. There's a good like YouTube video. You can just look up like an FBM guide on YouTube. It'll probably be Miles or I breaking down stuff in more detail if you want to learn that. But FBA is pretty much plug and play. You just start throwing stuff in a box and it'll give you the best rates you can get.
Yep. How do I know if a product is gated? Does SellerAmp tell you? Yes. Yeah, SellerAmp's going to tell you as long as you connect your seller account, which is really easy, just hitting like the connect or like attach to Amazon account in the settings right there. Yep.
How hands-free can you be with FBA if you go on holiday? So obviously you're probably not, like if you're doing all the shipping yourself, probably got to hold off on shipping new stuff in. Use a prep center for that if you're doing all of it yourself. But FBA, it'll keep churning. Yeah, you can keep churning. You can also if you put your store on vacation mode, it'll cut off all your FBM listings, but FBA will keep selling.
Yep. Yeah, so if you go to request to sell and it shows they're not accepting applications, or it says copy listing, for example, there's 2 ways. That is going to be a listing that's hard gated that you can't currently ungate. So just avoid listings like that and always make sure you check prior right there. And that's a good habit to get into. That'll serve you well because you should be checking for ungating prior to purchasing anyway. Not that ungating is a big obstacle, but just it's a good thing to do regardless.
Yep. Yeah, if you're seeing that on a lot of the items you're looking at, just watch any of the recent sourcing videos we've been making. We've both been sourcing some stuff that you are either auto ungated in or can easily ungate. So a lot of that is pretty useful for after you guys hop off stream. I made a video earlier today, just like sourcing for 20 minutes. You guys can learn some stuff from that. Define to list products with updated packaging on listings with the old packaging. Yeah, as long as the same product, like you said. Yeah. We're talking like nutrition facts are the same, fabric blends, all that kind of stuff. Something that is pretty common recently, and make sure this isn't going on, especially like food, vitamins, that kind of thing, is they'll slightly lower the quantity. And the old Amazon listing will have the older, it's called like shrinkflation, right? Like they're just shrinking how much you get instead of raising the price. So just make sure to keep an eye out for that on especially like grocery products. But beyond that, you should be good to go.
Bunch of Walmart wealth on stuff like that. A little stream exclusive. Go look at the great value stuff. You'll see some game here. Lee Larson says, struggling to find products. I've been looking for about a week, but as soon as I place the first order, I'm getting Boxem. Looks like an awesome tool. Yeah. So Lee, what you should do is take some time tonight. Both Warner and I's free courses have product research sections. Go through all of them and look at how we make items good. Typically, we don't find items good. We need like a discount to make the numbers work. And in our free courses, you're going to see pretty quickly what it looks like to actually make those SKUs profitable right there. And once you implement that, it's gonna make all the difference, right? So I'm gonna link a video in the chat for you guys. I posted it last week that shows exactly how to make items good. Right there, and it's titled "Why You Can't Find Profitable Amazon FBA Products." If you watch that, you'll very quickly see the main ways to create profit margins, and I promise if you implement that, you'll find a bunch of stuff.
How long does it usually take to get ungated? Anything from I've been approved in like 30 minutes. Sometimes it could take a few days to get it reviewed. It seems like different applications take a lot longer. Like I've noticed the grocery ungate is like instant for a lot of people.
Weird.
And then some certain brands takes a couple days. So it's probably goes to like different teams. Not exactly sure how it works internally there.
Yep. Hey guys, I'm watching a lot of your content. I'm about to set up my seller profile. Should I select an individual as business type? If you don't have a business, then yeah. Yep. Make sure it's a professional account though. But yeah, as long as you if you don't have an LLC, don't say I have an LLC. If you have an LLC, obviously say you do. Right there. But what most people do is they start out as a sole proprietor and then switch to an LLC once they have some consistent sales.
Yep. Why would Amazon suppress the buy box 60% of the time and not be on the listing? Seeing a lot of sellers that have majority suppressed besides a few sellers. So as long as there is a good history of that item selling while it has a suppressed buy box, it's not really an issue. Sometimes it can even be a good sign because Amazon's basically saying like, we think the price on Amazon is too high and we're like ashamed to show it almost. And if it's that high, generally means there's profit to be had. The big thing to look out for on suppressed listings is that to make sure it like didn't just happen. If it like just happened in the last month, last week, that kind of thing, a lot of times it's going to correlate with a demand decrease, and all else equal, that's going to make the price drop. But you can still definitely sell on some buy box suppressed listings.
When do you recommend sellers to use Boxem? Should we wait to gross a certain amount, or is it worth it for brand new sellers? Yeah, so the cool thing is you're going to get 14 days free regardless, and it's just going to make your process easier from day one. Honestly, so as long as you value your time, anything above like $10 an hour, it's going to make your life easier. And this goes for anyone watching. We still have the beta open if you want to try the analytics feature. So if you're a Boxem user, feel free to shoot me a Discord DM, and I can totally hook you up with the beta for all the analytics features. So SKU profitability, ASIN profitability, profit overview, and profit and loss. And we got some good ideas for future ones too, as well. So feel free to shoot a Discord DM, and I would love to hook you up with that for free as long as you're a Boxem user currently.
Yep. Yeah, and for those of you guys that want to start saving a bunch of time on shipments, tracking profit, all that kind of stuff, you can try Boxem for free for 2 weeks too. So even if you're new, you just want to start saving some time in your biz. When Amazon is on the buy box with the prices higher than the FBA price, can you ignore that or avoid those listings? Yeah, those can be good. Those can be good listings because some people will be kind of like afraid of that. If just like they see Amazon listing, they're always running away. But if you see that buy box is consistently under Amazon's price, it's decently common. You can still jump on that, and usually Amazon will make like no sales when they're way more expensive than the current buy box. Yeah, it's cool that you're seeing those. Check that out. You can also look at like the Keep Offers tab. It's generally useful to see like, it's not going to show you all the sales, but you can see kind of like what prices people are at. And then if their stock counts are decreasing, it's like, I see proof that third-party sellers are making some sales here.
Do I take the products off, or do I take the stickers off the products? Yes. Yeah. Unless the customer is getting a really good deal relative to the price sticker, which is almost never the case. But yeah, you know what I mean? Think about it. If you bought an item, right, with your hard-earned money, right, and you received it and you paid $30 and it has a clearance sticker for 12, you probably wouldn't feel great about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can also sometimes a lot easier than that is putting like a blank SKU label over it, as long as it's not like obviously showing through the blank label. Usually it's just a little bit quicker than tearing a sticker off, basically. Let's see. Do you recommend retail over online sourcing if you're just starting out and not much money to spend on inventory? Yeah, I would say that's a great way to do it, Jonathan, just because with retail arbitrage, your only competition is the people within like 10, 15 miles of that store, right? Maybe every now and then an RA monster that's just on a long road trip, but it's usually just the like your geographical area. So you're just competing against those people. So there's going to be a lot more opportunities for there to be, like crazy clearance stickers like this, right? Where stuff gets, it's blurry, of course, but stuff gets massively marked down at like your local retail store compared to online. Just naturally, they're not going to have to lower the price as much to find a buyer when it's the entire internet. So you generally have like higher ROIs, but you're spending more time. That's just like the trade-off. Going to thrift stores, that kind of also fits in the same camp there.
You guys are so helpful. I'm about to start in 2 weeks. Start today. Really good question here from James. I've seen a lot of private label alerts on SellerAmp for profitable listings. Is it recommended to avoid private label things? Not at all. Not at all. You avoid private label, or when it says that private label alert, it means suspected. It doesn't necessarily automatically mean this. What you need to do is look at these sellers on the listing and see if it's just the brand dominating the buy box. If it's a bunch of sellers selling it that are not the brand, then you're good to go. What that typically means, or what that automatically means, is that it's a low competition listing, but that does not automatically mean that it's private label. A lot of beginners get that backwards, and that ends up missing them out on profitable leads.
Yep. Best way to set up a multi-pack of an item, example, 2 items per pack. Yeah. So as long as that listing already exists on Amazon, Jonathan, you'll just take that ASIN, throw it into Boxem, tell Boxem how many you have. Now, keep in mind that 1 unit of a 2-pack is 1 when you're entering it. I know it's like some new sellers, they'll put in 40 when they have 40 units. That'd be like 20 units if you're trying to make 20 2-packs. And then depending on the item, usually I just put it in like a clear poly bag and put the label on the outside of that. If it's like a heavier thing, it might get damaged, that kind of thing, you might put it inside of a box and then SKU label the outside of that. Typically for 2-packs, you can just toss it in a poly bag though.
Yep. Yeah. Joanne Fabric's going out of business. If any of y'all got that locally to you, I don't know if they've like fully shut down, but if you look up Lion Brand and Red Heart Yarn, both of those are online arbitrage brands. Yep.
The gem from Bob there.
That is a game from Bob. You guys own SellerAmp? Yeah, so we co-own SellerAmp with our friends Al and Allison from Texas there. We have a good Warner and I actually have videos with Al too if you guys want to check that out, and Bob Box Bandits podcast too. Right there. Y'all can check those out if you guys are interested.
Yep. And tips on managing cash flow monthly basis. Yeah, the big thing, like the big metric that I always make sure to follow is the your credit card balance. Is, at least for me, I'm a little more conservative than some, like, some people that you go crazy on arbitrage stuff. Is I make sure my credit card balance is equal or less than the money Amazon owes me in the next 2 weeks plus my business checking account. Some people will go a little bit riskier than that, but that's kind of the formula I've always followed.
I'm going to apply for an LLC today, and once I get it back, I can't even get my EIN without an LLC. Luckily, you actually need neither. But yeah, that completely does make sense. Yeah, I know you've been watching a bunch of videos, Jaber, too, so that's fire. Keep it up.
Yeah. Other thing to think about on cash flow is what can you do operationally that speeds up your money, right? So can you FBM the items that you're FBAing? Do you need to like lower prices on things that you've been holding on to for a while? You're just like praying for prices to go up. Are you tossing, the Boxem 2D barcodes on there? You get help your check-in times a little bit, right? Like, just think about like those operational things you can do to speed up how fast your money's moving through the system as well. See if it says true for IP issues. If it says a potential IP, yeah. So any software that's like flagging IP is always it's an estimated guess, right? All that means is typically like that brand has IP complained on all of their listings. They've IP complained on one of their listings a year ago, right? So just take a look at the sellers chart and make sure that there's not like a big cliff where there's, there was 20 sellers and then overnight it turned into 1 all at once. Yeah, it's just kind of like hey, there might be an IP complaint here. Just take a look at the seller account, make sure you're good.
Do I need to make a business bank account? So you're not required to. It's definitely not going to hurt, but don't see that as like something that should keep you from starting to, buy and sell through your first items.
You can probably at least open a second account with the thing you've already got. Yeah, if you're doing an LLC, you get a business bank account. For the meantime, though, just open a new account under the bank account you already got. Keep your business money separate, and then you can always make it more formal once the LLC is official. But yeah, it's very, 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 very good idea to separate your business and personal money as soon as you can. Makes your bookkeeping and taxes a lot less of a pain.
Yeah, I completely agree on that, Davey, too, as well.
Yep. If you buy an item individually, but Amazon sells it as a 2-pack, can you sell it as a 2-pack if you buy it? Yeah, exactly, Jonathan. So let's say there's a 2-pack of this on Amazon for some reason. As long as I have 2 of these, I can put in a poly bag together, put the SKU label on the outside of that you can sell that as a 2-pack. It doesn't have to be like a manufacturer-made 2-pack. You can throw it together and yeah, as long as the customer is getting what they're paying for. That's the main thing. At the end of the day, like if you would be happy receiving whatever you're about to send a customer, knowing the Amazon listing you're listing it on, then that's kind of the good test to keep in mind. So in that case, probably be pretty happy.
100% right there, 100%. Yeah, Scott had brought up the Kohl's clearance going on. Yeah, if y'all got Kohl's locally to you, check that out. I believe it's called 50% clearance. It happens a couple times a year. It's on right now. So go print some RA Wealth. Get out SellerAmp. Go print some RA Wealth. If you're watching this and you're still on the fence, you haven't gotten started, you can get a 2-week free trial of SellerAmp today. You don't even need an Amazon account. You could go to your local Kohl's today and start getting some reps in, start playing around, reading data, seeing some SKUs, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, if you're hitting the stores, talk to the managers a little bit as well. See if they can give you some game on when they put new stuff out. If they got more that they want to sell you. Sometimes they'll be like, hey, there's another store down the road. They got a whole bunch more of this. You can go pick it up from them. Like don't be shy with telling people what you're doing. Pretty much always leads to more opportunity.
Yeah, this is a relationship game. Relationship game indeed.
Yep. As soon as you make a pro account, does Amazon charge you $40 right away? I'm pretty sure it'd start right away. As far as I
think it's when you start selling stuff.
Is it? Okay, that'd be cool.
GPT real quick. I'm almost
that'd be cool.
When you start selling stuff. Let me see. It does.
Yep. Let's see. Yeah, you can cancel whatever subscription you want at any time. That would be illegal for anything to not let you cancel a subscription. How safe is Card Cash? Yeah, I bought a bunch of stuff there. We were buying some gift cards there last night, actually. So, yeah, Card Cash, GCX, Top Cashback gift card store. That's where I buy most of mine.
So it is right when you open the seller account. Okay, cool.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
Boom. There we go. Cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Boxem going right now. Working on nice shipment right now. That's what's up. Yeah. Let's toss a. You got to toss a picture of that up on Twitter or Instagram and tag us on that. That's awesome. You have to continuously monitor listed items prices and manually adjust as Amazon adjust prices for you. So, yeah, so once you have like 5, 10, 20 products, whenever you're just catching yourself moving prices around too often, you can get a repricing tool. There's a couple good ones at like $25 a month. It's just another one of those things like Boxem, where after you make a sale or two, when you start valuing your time, you'll just throw a little bit of money towards saving yourself some more. Let's see. Interesting. Yeah, you can file a support case with them then. Everything bought through Card Cash is like protected basically.
Yep. Damn,
this is awesome. That's what's up, David. Yeah. Started less than a week ago, got 1 to 3 sales a day. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Now before too long it'll be 10 to 30 and then 100 to 300 and let's excited to see the growth, man. That's awesome.
Yes, Lewis, I'll take a look at that. Right there. Is mentorship that important? So it's not necessarily that mentorship's that important. It's just being around people who are in their game, being around people who are working on the stuff. In many cases, that's free, but the key is that you actually have to take those steps, right? So regardless of whether or not you pay for help, in our opinion, you do need to be around other Amazon sellers that are working on the stuff, which could be in our Facebook group, could be on Twitter, could be on Instagram. Or if you do want to pay for immediate help, right, getting around other sellers in the community is a great way to do it too. People that are serious, people that all have invested in themselves and everything. But the key is, all the secrets are out there. Go watch our free course. It's 12 hours a game combined, Warner's channel, my channel. That'll bring you up to speed on a lot of the technical stuff. And then if you want help along the way, your items checked, making items good, you want to make some friends in the space, et cetera, mentorship can totally make sense. And that's, I think, the reason a lot of people join it.
Makes life easier when you got a person or two to bounce ideas off of, basically. What's the Facebook group? Yeah, if you look up Amazon Launchpad on Facebook, that's the Facebook group. There's also a SellerAmp Facebook group as well. Can you stack other discounts with the tax exempt Walmart account? Yeah, so like Walmart usually doesn't do like coupons. Sometimes they'll do some sales. Mostly Walmart's gonna be like discounted gift cards though, which have been kind of crazy high lately.
Yeah, like way better than normal too. Another tip on Walmart is when it's all FBM people, or at least a lot of FBM people, take advantage of the prime bump. A lot of people in this stuff like that, where a listing's full of FBM folks and there's FBA people 5, 10, 15% higher. Those FBM people don't matter to you. Take advantage of that prime bump right there.
Yep, Miles doesn't care about FBM people. Confirmed.
No. Like you could FBM said SKU too, and maybe you should, right? And everything. But yeah, you want to see those, the hidden profit. On the flip side, there's also FBM items where there's hidden profit, when an item's above $20 but below £1, oftentimes you'll get an extra $1 or $2 out of that thing FBM, but you don't know unless you use the seller amp FBM calculator.
Individual you can't. So yeah, individual you're just paying $1 per. You could sell like the same amount. Actually, I think I've heard Pro Plan helps you get buy box sale easier. I'm not sure if that's like a fake or not. It seems like it's real. The big thing is like don't accidentally sell a bunch on an individual because you're paying an extra $1 a unit.
Yeah.
Run it up on an individual account for a year, you pay like 10 grand in extra fees, something like that.
Yep. Any recommendations or suggestions on being successful for someone who has work full time and can only dedicate a certain amount of time? At first, yeah, dude. So put in as much time as you can, right? Because you're paying around ignorance debt to start, right? And then the real 2 components that determine your success are whether or not you can make items good, right? Learning different discounts for different retailers, and who you talk to on a day-to-day basis about selling on Amazon, which unfortunately for most sellers is no one that sells on Amazon. So they have a way harder time. Being in the community and building a network of other sellers to mastermind with and learn from is super, super important. It sounds very counterintuitive though. But then once you join our Discord or join our Facebook group, both of which are free, right, you'll start seeing more and more recommendations from, experienced sellers. And really all of them just have a couple sellers they work with and a couple suppliers that they know how to make them good via those discounts.
Yep. Let's see. You guys are chatting down there.
Yep. We're talking about 2 different things. Yeah, exactly, Dave. Yeah. Yep. So Ramsey, so you can check out the link to that in the description, man. You could be a new seller, or you could be already selling. It's completely up to you on that. Yeah. Yep. Cool. I appreciate all y'all tuning in.
Good vibes.
Another BOH, another box
mixing up our theme streams here.
Yeah, session of BOH right there. So appreciate y'all tuning in. If you guys want more free game, check out our recent YouTube videos. What was what you posted a sourcing video today, right?
Yeah, like 20-ish minutes. Show you guys how to source some videos, especially if you guys are on my channel. Just switch over to that right now. Start learning some game.
Facts,
and,
right?
Yeah, make sure you guys are digging in on as much free content as possible. Prioritize. Say it every time, but prioritize making that first sale as soon as possible. It becomes real the second that sale rolls in, and then it makes it a lot easier to chase this and just kind of learning the game a lot more seriously. So excited to see you guys crush the game. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. See you later. Y'all be great.